Hello, BookTube. I have yet another book haul for you. And that makes book haul number 4 in 2017, which retroactively means one for each day of the year so far, which is kind of a horrifying rate that is certain to have even the most voyeuristic of you crying for mercy inside of a month. So, I don't know, we might have to adjust this idea of me showing you every single book. It's doing it is rather quickly showing me just how many books I get. It might You'll have to let me know in the comments, but I thought I'd do these anyway. It's 3 more and it's heavy packages, so I'm hoping for some nonfiction. Nonfiction would be nice. All right, so let's see what this first one is. Oh, good. Okay. This is the finished copy of Pierre Briant's The First European biography of Alexander the Great, which comes out, I think, in February? January 23rd. So, I am horrified to admit that I have not read this yet. I've had the ARC for quite some time and just haven't done it. I blame the end of the year. But considering what a huge fan I am of Alexander the Great, I will get to this this weekend. I'll read this weekend. Get it off the pile. And then on to... All right, so that was good. That was not only nonfiction, it was biography, and not only biography, but a biography of one of my 5 guys. So that's great. Any year that produces a biography of one of my 5 guys is a good year. Oh my. Oh, look at this. Okay, this comes out in late February. It's by Tony Smith, and it's called Why Wilson Matters. The Origin of American Liberal Internationalism and Its Crisis Today. Who is Tony Smith when he's at home? The Cornelia M. Jackson Professor of Political Science at Tufts, and has written many books. And at least a couple of them seem to have been about Wilson, so he seems to be a Wilson scholar. Okay. Confess, not one of my favorite American presidents, but maybe this will change my mind. I'm always up for that sort of thing. The liberal internationalist tradition is credited with America's greatest triumphs as a world power, and also its biggest failures. Beginning in the 1940s, imbued with the spirit of Woodrow Wilson's efforts in the League of Nations to make the world safe for democracy, the United States steered a course in world affairs that would eventually win the Cold War. There's a lot going on in that sentence, and not all of it is accurate. That's a huge sentence. Yet in the 1990s, Wilsonianism turned imperialist, contributing directly to the invasion of Iraq in 2003 and the continued failure of American foreign policy. Okay. All right. That's actually good. That second sentence is also riddled with problems. If you couple Iraq in 2003 with any working definition of the word imperialism, we have problems. But they're good problems. I can tell even from this one paragraph that I'm going to argue fruitfully with this author, as opposed to just flailing at this author for being wrong. I love arguing fruitfully with historians. This is part of what I was harping so endlessly about back in November, about the joys of nonfiction that, much as I love fiction, fiction does not offer, cannot offer. Because this author is clearly going to take issue with the past. He's going to take recorded details, recorded facts, and biography, and make an argument about them. And his argument will I will either find fault with it or I will not, based on my own understanding of those facts and those figures. And that is incredible. It's an incredible feeling. I admit, you can't have that feeling immediately with nonfiction. The way you can feel invested with fiction right away, because it's a blank slate. So if you do Brandon Sanderson's, Stormlight Archive from book 1, okay, you're in book 1, same as anybody else. He might know secrets of the world, but as much as is in those books, you can know backwards and forwards the same as anybody else. It doesn't have any antecedents, is what I'm saying. Whereas nonfiction, you need to know more, but the thrill of it is the more you know, the more you can argue with people who know even more than you do. It's I'm not putting it well, but it's a fascinating feeling. And this will be great. This will be. I don't agree with that paragraph at all. Imperialism in the Iraq invasion. But this has blurbs from all sorts of great historians. And you gotta love the cover. You can't really make it out, I don't think. That's Woodrow Wilson, yes, but I don't know if you can make it out. That is a sea of straw hats in the background. His whole audience are wearing straw hats, which was the fashion at the time. and cannot help but bring to mind a classic exchange in P.G. Woodhouse's Jeeves and Wooster stories, where there's at one point in one story, Bertie Wooster he's enamored of his 52nd Street skimmer, his straw hat. He wears it everywhere. And Jeeves finds it in our closet and holds it like it's infected with bubonic plague. And Bertie Wooster wants to know what the problem is. And Jeeves utters a classic Jeeves line: "Gentlemen do not wear straw hats in the metropolis." There's about 50 people on this cover who would disagree. Anyway, all right, so we're 2 for 2 for meaty nonfiction, and then we'll do the last one. What is this? Oh, wow, okay. More nonfiction. Also from Harvard. A couple of these are 2 from Harvard and 1 from Princeton. God bless the academic presses, I tell you. I don't know what I'd do without them. This is by Cynthia Estlund, and it's called A New Deal for China's Workers? ? And this comes out yesterday. This book views the changing landscape of modern China through comparative lens of America's 20th century experience with industrial unrest. China's leaders hope to replicate the widely shared prosperity, political legitimacy, and stability that flowed from America's New Deal, but they are irrevocably opposed to the independent trade unions and mass mobilization that were central to bringing it about. Estlund argues that the specter of an independent labor movement, seen as an existential threat to China's one-party regime, is both driving and constraining every facet of its response to restless workers. Doesn't that sound fascinating? Oh, my. Okay. All right, well, I'm late to the party on this one, or Harvard is late sending it to me. One way or another, though, that sounds fascinating. China is endlessly fascinating. The transformation that it's going through in the 21st century is, I think, the most interesting thing on the international scene. So this is right at the heart of, fantastic. All right, so this is another one I think I'll do this weekend. So that is A New Deal for China's Workers. Please, publishers, authors, no question marks in your. Is he Popenjoy from Trollope? That's about as far as we go. Then Why Wilson Matters, and then the first European about Alexander the Great. So that rounds out nonfiction after a glut of fiction. Great. So that is book haul number 4 already of 2017. So we'll have to discuss. And I'll see you soon, book 2. Thank you.